Hello everybody, Josh12 back here again with another video, and I'm here with another fall season premiere episode review. Yes, the fall season continues with a whole bunch of epicness, and tonight alone on Tuesday night, we got a whole bunch of awesomeness. We got some anniversaries, music videos, a whole bunch of TV show premieres, like, for instance, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. featuring Ghost Rider, the epicness that is Ghost Rider, which I might possibly review. We'll see what happens later in the night. However, with the epicness of the fall season's premieres, we got the official and my personal anticipation for the creme de la creme Scream Queens Season 2 premiere. Yes, Scream Queens has officially returned, and I'm here to give you my official review for it. Yes, Scream Queens Season 2 Episode 1 titled Scream Again. Now, of course, if you've not seen Scream Queens Season 2 Episode 1 premiere, or even Scream Queens Season 1, please go check it out because this review may contain spoilers. But that being said and done, let's get into the newest episode of Scream Queens Season 2. Now, let's put it out there. Scream Queens Season 1. I was a huge fan of it. I really loved it. I know the critics had mixed feelings about it, and various people have specific mixed feelings about it. However, for people out there, I really enjoyed Scream Queen Season 1. I have no qualms admitting it. It's such a good show, and I loved that first season. It was so freaking tight and good and on point with the type of genres that they were mixing for that kind of TV show genre. And, of course, when we got references and rumors regarding the creators talking about specifically Ryan Murphy discussing the fact that Scream Queens would kind of follow the same format or maybe outline that American Horror Story would be, which is that it would be an anthology series. I was kind of saddened by that because a lot like Season 1 of American Horror Story, I really fell in love and enjoyed the cast and crew and characters we got in Season 1, especially the Chanels, and I'm completely grateful and amazed with the fact that they decided to scrap that idea and make Season 2 just a continuation of Season 1. Yes, we got all our characters back. The characters that you wish came back are now back in action, and we're following them with another season, which is amazing. Now, with that being said, let me talk about the overall scope of the first episode. Essentially, we get the first half of it is a very quick recap of Season 1. We get some character development with the characters that we're following in this season, at least for the following episodes. And of course, what happened with the characters that were kind of lost in the wind with the first season. And of course, on top of that, the overall episode starts off within a hospital, and of course, kind of does a redundancy and just recaps the same thing that Season 1 kind of started off on, which is a big party, and of course, a death that happens that pretty much starts the chain reaction for the rest of the current events within real-time timeline, which is okay for what it is, especially for the kind of show that Scream Queens is. However, the overall scope of the episode is that it follows Jamie Lee Curtis's character, Keke Palmer's character, and the Chanels, of course, and this new hospital with their new jobs and new life, and of course new recurring actors and characters like John Stamos and Taylor Lautner. And that's pretty much episode 1 of Season 2. And let's start off with the characters. Now, first off, the opening I really liked. However, I do feel and admit that it kind of bugged me that Season 2 pretty much opens up the same way Season 1 did. The only exception is that the killers aren't a sorority row. It's done in a hospital in comparison. And of course, it's death by swamp, I guess, by hospital attendants and doctors and nurses, which is a different twist, of course. However, it's basically the same formula that they opened up with Season 1. And it kind of bugged me that they did the same exact thing, but then again, with a show like Scream Queens that doesn't take itself completely seriously, I guess it's not a big deal. And of course, I have to acknowledge and give huge kudos to Scream Queens and Fox and the rest of the creators for putting in Jerry O'Connell in that flashback opening sequence within Scream Queens Season 2. I mean, like, Jerry O'Connell is hilarious and awesome, and I like the fact that they just shoved him in there. And I wonder, I really wonder if it was done out of, pure luck, or it was calculated to have Jerry O'Connell premiere on this night specifically for the premiere of Scream Queens, considering that the whole Stand By Me anniversary thing is going on at the same time. So I don't know if it was pure luck or it was a calculated decision, but overall, Jerry O'Connell showing up as the doctor who has some form of connections with the death and possible new murderer slash serial killer for this new season, I'm alright with. But overall, moving off of that, the next set of characters that we mostly follow changes narrative very quickly, which is another thing that kind of bugged me with this new season, is that first it starts off with the flashback, then we transition to real time, and Jamie Lee Curtis is the character we kind of follow through. Dean Munch is the character we follow through, her narrative, and then her transition into getting the characters from season 1 over into this new hospital that she has power over, I guess. And it really doesn't make that much sense how Jamie Lee Curtis's character got so much power from season 1 to 2, but I go with it, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other viewers and fans of the series will go with it as well, because the whole show doesn't make sense at the end of the day. It's all campy and cartoony and over the top and not so serious, so I'm okay with it, but I wish they could have put some more explanations on how she got so much power over the world, and specifically this one hospital, which has nothing to do. But regardless of any of that, she brings in Keke Palmer's character, Zayday, and of course the Chanels, which was a huge plus. I was really hoping that they put in the Chanels within this premiere, and they did it, and it was a good, huge plus for the episode, considering they are pretty much, once they get into this episode, the episode gets into high gear, and it's amazing. It's super fun, super hilarious. They're quippy and amazing, and each specific Chanel, specifically Emma Roberts, kill it within the premiere, like they did a lot within season 1, which is great. But of course, moving off of that, let me talk a little bit about the new recurring actors that we'll be seeing. First, let's start off with John Stamos' character, who plays a doctor within the season, and I feel like there are two things that I find interesting. Number one, John Stamos is in the show, and that's awesome. And he adds a lot to the episode itself and the story. I think he's obviously playing the kind of character you would kind of expect from John Stamos to play in this sort of series. And I like it. I think it's fun. It's John fucking Stamos. He's awesome. He killed it in the episode. He was really good. He was very playing the role that he should play. And his character's a big wackadoo. He's funny, and of course he has that cheesy charm that John Stamos gives in these kind of comedy series. So overall, he was a huge plus. However, there's certain instances where I don't know if it's the writers making him play it that way for future episodes, but it kind of feels like John Stamos plays the role perfectly, but then he kind of puts a little too much seriousness on it, and I don't know if it was because they want to make him a prime suspect for a future episode, like, oh, is he the murderer, serial killer, crocodile guy? Who the fuck knows? I guess we're going to have to find out, but overall, John Stamos in general, I liked. Moving off of that, we also get Taylor Lautner. Now, Taylor Lautner being added into the Scream Queens TV series, I kind of was very iffy about it. However, granted, season 1, I wasn't really big on the idea of Ariana Grande and Nick Jonas being on that series. I'm not really a huge fan of them as actors and or maybe even people, famous people if you will, celebrities. But after seeing their performances and appearances on season 1 of Scream Queens, I fell in love with them. Grande had the best kill, possibly the best moment in Scream Queens, and Nick Jonas was hilarious and awesome. I mean, the dude was epic on that first season, and I wish there was more of him, hopefully in season 2, which I know possibly will be very much impossible, but God, it was so good. And to this day, whenever I see Nick Jonas doing whatever the fuck Nick Jonas does with his bestie slash possibly the most amazingly curvaceous Demi Lovato, I'm like, that guy knows what he's doing, and I'm okay with that. So overall, I loved what they did. I wasn't a fan prior, but post Scream Queens, I fell in love with them. Hopefully, they did the same thing with Taylor Lautner. And did they do that? Well, in my review, in my subjective personal opinion, I feel like the same way I do with Taylor Lautner in general in any other film or TV project. He kind of plays it dry, and he just comes off as being a stale actor. He's very wooden in the episode premiere, and I don't know if it's because he's trying to do one of two things, or maybe the writers are making him play one of two things, which is he's the assistant to John Stamos and he's also a doctor. Okay, sure. However, Taylor Lautner plays it and he gives two different approaches, and it's almost like he doesn't know which one to play. Like, on one hand, he's trying to be the dumb, dim-witted, good-looking doctor guy, and on the other hand, he's trying to be the straight guy, the straight man, the straight, comparison to John Stamos' wackadoo-ness. And I don't think it works. However, I do give hope to Scream Queens and their creative team to hopefully give some, legitimacy to having Taylor Lautner in the series. But overall, he didn't really do anything for me, which was a big letdown. And of course, we also got Kristie Alley in here playing another wackadoo, which, okay, sure, I'm alright with that, and I think she was really good. Overall, the comedy was very much on point with this episode. It was a very funny premiere episode, and the horror elements were also really nice. I liked the opening flashback with Jerry OConnell. I really enjoyed the ending, of course, which I won't spoil completely, and I also really enjoy the look of the new serial killer / character that we'll be following with the events of Season 2. In comparison to the demon characters Season 1, I definitely say this new one is far more interesting looking and completely badass looking, yet very much hilarious considering the way he approaches the kill. So overall, Scream Queens Season 2 Episode 1, I liked the premiere. There were certain things that definitely bugged me, like Taylor Lautner, number 1, the opening being so similar to Season 1's opening premiere, not to mention, prior to the Chanels being approached within the episode, the narrative changes very drastically. But overall, everything else was very much positive. I love the recaps, the little niches of history that we got in between Season 1 and Season 2. I like Niecy Nash's special guest appearance in the episode. I thought she was hilarious as always. I wish they would just make her a supporting character already instead of having her a special guest appearance, but overall she was great. The other new actors that are added, with the exception of Taylor Lautner, was really good, and of course the recurring actors we got were really good as well, and I loved Emma Roberts and Jamie Lee Curtis. They continue to kill it on the series, and I can't wait to see more of them. But overall, if I have to give you my final verdict today, I give this episode premiere for the new season of Scream Queens a solid 8 out of 10. It was a good premiere. I definitely would admit as a fan of the series that I liked the Season 1 premiere more than this one. However, it was still funny. It was still creepy and scary for when it had to be. And it's an over-the-top cartoony, not so serious TV series, so I don't take things too overly dramatic or seriously. It's just a have fun with it kind of show, which I have a lot of when watching the series. So overall, I love the season premiere. Not as great as the previous one, but still pretty good. But let me know what you personally think in the comment section below, and I can't wait for the rest of the season, and I can't wait for recurring actors and characters to come back, specifically Chad Radwell, which would be a huge disservice not to bring him back, and of course Colin Haynes, which I can't wait to see how he will be factoring into the overall show. And overall, let's see what happens and who's the killer, who is behind that creepy demonic crocodile looking Slimer fucking mask. Who the hell knows? We'll see what happens with the future. With that being said and done, comment below, let me know what your personal thoughts about the season premiere of Scream Queen Season 2. With that being said and done, shameless plug time. Follow me on Instagram at Josh12. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. And of course, stay tuned to my channel where I have a whole bunch of new fall season premiere reviews. And once October comes around, I will have a lot more horror and or crime TV show reviews up for the month of October. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And of course, this has been Josh12, and I hope you guys enjoyed.